Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some Call of Duty Ghosts. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox 360 here in 2017. I woke up with a very odd feeling today, and that odd feeling was I wanted to play this game for some reason. I typically don't ever want to play this game. If anyone knows anything about me and my YouTube channel here, this was probably my least favorite of all the Call of Duty games that I have played over the course of the decade that I've been following the series. But randomly today I thought, let's go play this game, let's see how it is, because in my mind, I've kind of villainized it as the worst Call of Duty game in the history of the franchise. But is it really that bad of a game? Let's go back and play, let's find out. And I thought it would be cool to go back and play the 360 version, which surprisingly had 1,000 people playing it. It is a Saturday, which means that's kind of inflated a little bit. You're going to have more people on right now than you're going to have on an average Tuesday or a Wednesday, but there's about 1,000 people. I was able to play any game mode I wanted. I was able to play on a wide variety of maps and with a wide variety of weapons, and I kind of went into it today thinking this game's gonna be terrible. I can make a rant video about Call of Duty Ghosts. Here we go. But 4 hours in, I'm still enjoying the game and still having fun. I wanted to discuss that a little bit here in today's video. I think I have been too harsh on Call of Duty Ghosts, and I think we as a community have been a little bit too harsh on Call of Duty Ghosts, given how hard it was to actually put this game together. Infinity Ward was put in kind of a no-win situation when it came to Call of Duty Ghosts. Modern Warfare 3 was done, and now they found themselves in a situation where they wanted to make a new IP, but they really didn't know what to do, right? So they wanted to go with a modern setting, but give it their own twist, and they thought to themselves, while they were working on this new IP and a new breath of fresh air for the Call of Duty series, let's try something different in the multiplayer itself. And they really had a lot of innovations. I think people don't give Infinity Ward enough credit for all the things they tried when it came to Call of Duty Ghosts in terms of innovations. We moved around the kill feed a little bit. We had an entirely new create class system. It was sort of similar to the pick 10 system that we had back in Black Ops 2, but it was a bit different. It's very unique, and personally, I actually really like it. The fact that you can really tailor your perks in a way that each perk has a different value based on how powerful it actually is. That's a cool idea for a perk system. Then, of course, we had the innovations to the prestige system, which was like a squad idea. It's still confusing to me to this day, but every time you prestige, you get another one of these soldiers. You can go back to previous prestiges, essentially, and play as your old soldiers, which in total gives you dozens upon dozens upon dozens of different create class options. You had field orders, you had the revamped scoreboard, you had the battle chatter system, which is something we're seeing a return of in Call of Duty World War II. They tried their hand at Levolution, the idea that they could add these dynamic elements to maps, like for example, when you get a chem strike on Strike Zone, it changes up the map completely. That's a really cool idea if you ask me. Now, of course, they had some funny ones, like the ability to knock over a log on Prison Break and call it Levolution. People would make videos comparing that to like completely collapsible buildings in Battlefield. Of course, it became a big joke, but it was a cool idea. They tried their hand at things. Of course, they had all these new game modes like Cranked and Blitz and Search and Rescue, Grind, Reinforce, Hunted, Clan Wars. They really tried a lot of things with this game. The only downside was not all of them were actually great, and the game wasn't well received by the community. And that's not just like my perception, that's just basically fact. I remember making videos back in December and January of the year Ghosts came out, and more people were actually playing Black Ops 2 than they were playing Ghosts for one reason or another. One reason actually might be the fact that it was the game that was current during the console transition. That had to have been a really weird time for the Call of Duty series, especially if you're a developer, right? Because you would develop this game for the 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the Wii, and now suddenly it has to be made properly for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 as well, and it had some issues, like it wasn't running at proper 1080p on those new systems, and of course it was competing with all of the new games that were coming out for those systems. It was a really weird time for the Call of Duty series, so I can see how it was kind of like this perfect storm to make it so this was not one of the most popular games of all time. In fact, I'd say it's one of the least popular Call of Duty games, but that does not mean it's necessarily a bad game. When you go back and actually play it, you can see that the maps themselves were actually pretty good. The gunplay was fantastic. There are so many good guns in this game and fun guns to use, like the chainsaw. Don't get me started on chainsaw, guys. I forgot it was even a gun. Then I picked it up. I'm like, this thing is freaking fantastic. I remember the hip-fire light machine gun. It was so much fun to play around with. The kill streaks themselves were very powerful. The game was good. There were definitely some bad things like the SATCOM. I could go on for an hour talking about how dumb it was for them to replace the UAV with a freaking SATCOM. But again, it was that idea of innovation, the idea that they wanted to try to take the Call of Duty series in a slightly different direction. Of course, you guys know as well as I, every single year you have these very vocal haters saying that Call of Duty is the same game every single year. And so they listened, they tried to innovate, and the game didn't really take off as a result, but that's okay. Not every idea is going to be a fantastic one. I was really excited for the idea of a Ghost 2 because this is something people don't really talk about all that much, but the universe that we have here is really cool in my opinion. It's like Modern Warfare, but it's different enough that it can stand on its own 2 feet, and I was kind of excited for the idea of a Ghost 2, assuming of course they were going to remove all the things I didn't like about the original, but we never got that. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't played the campaign. I get that's a super old game, and I'm probably okay to talk about the campaign, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say the ending of Ghosts, while I did like the campaign, the ending sucked, but it perfectly at the same time set up a Ghost 2, right? But we never actually got that because then, of course, we had the jetpack era, we had Advanced Warfare, and then we had Black Ops 3, and now we have Infinite Warfare. They kind of just left us hanging with a Ghost 2, even though the story strongly suggests that Ghost 2 is actually going to be a thing. So maybe in a couple of years, we will have a Ghost 2, and if that is the case, then I think it could actually be a pretty good game. Again, assuming, of course, Infinity Ward learns from their previous mistakes. The universe, the guns, the world they have created for us so far is a pretty awesome one, and I would be more than happy to see a return to form for Infinity Ward with a Call of Duty Ghost 2. Now, of course, people are going to counter that immediately with, we want Modern Warfare 4, Nero, shut your mouth about your Ghost 2. I agree, man. Modern Warfare 4 sounds great, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to leave the Modern Warfare trilogy be. Maybe in the future we're going to see a Modern Warfare 4, but I think a Ghost 2 is much more likely than a Modern Warfare 4. And if they do continue this boots on the ground innovation, quote unquote, that Sledgehammer is starting, this new revolution, if you will, then it would be really cool if we got a Ghost 2 in a couple of years from Infinity Ward, because I think it could actually be a pretty good game. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here in this video, man. I went back to Call of Duty Ghosts today, mostly based off of your guys' suggestions on Twitter. I'm like, guys, I have a random urge to play Call of Duty Ghosts, and it was actually you guys that convinced me to go back and play, because a lot of you think it's a really fun game, and you guys suggest I go back and play it on occasion, and I had fun, so I recommend to all of you guys, go back and play Ghosts, go back and play the older Call of Duty games, because it's that time of year. It's the best time of year to go back and play the older games, because on average, they're more populated than normal. Come November, the old games are going to be a ghost town, because everybody's going to be playing Call of Duty World War II, but at this point in the year, you know, August, September, and October, a lot of people go back to play the older games because the current games that are out are kind of boring, and we're kind of just waiting for the new Call of Duty game, right? So now's a great time to go back and play. Let me know your thoughts on Call of Duty Ghosts down there in the comment section below. And also, what Call of Duty game do you think is currently your favorite? Like, what COD right now are you playing more than the other ones? I would love to hear about that down there in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.